Odd House.
Run it up. Yes, sir. Good morning, world. Welcome to episode 5, week 5 of the NFL season. We just want to thank you for tuning in to 1’s podcast with your host, Murph, my co-host, Roy. Good morning, my brother. How you doing this morning, man? Good morning, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Another great day. Man, a lot of stuff to talk about. It's been a great week, man. Just looking forward to get into it, Murph.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just want to also let everyone know, make sure you like, subscribe, comment to the #1 sports debate podcast in the nation.
Let's go.
In the nation.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Roy, man, week 5, man, how'd you do in your fantasy football this year? This week.
This week, I think, man, I'm in close battles. One league I'm in with the guys, man. Steve League, man. Shout out Steve, Chet, Duke, all them guys in there. Made a really bonehead move. I traded Chase.
And Chase went crazy this week, right?
Crazy, man. This man went for like 56 fantasy points, man, depending on how your fantasy league scores, but basically 50 plus. And the mistake I made, Murph, was I traded him after week 2, after 2 down weeks, knowing I knew that, Bengals usually start out slow because Joe Burrow don't play in the preseason, and I was 0-2, and I just
who'd you trade him for? Who did you?
Man, I traded him for Kyron Williams, running back from the Rams, and Zay Flowers, number 1 receiver in Baltimore.
Ooh.
So looking back, that probably wasn't a good trade. But you live and you learn. I'll never do that again, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I was 0-2 and I was trying to get a win, but I didn't see the long-term picture. I was looking at the here and now.
Yeah.
Which, again, huge mistake. Chase went crazy yesterday. He probably won a few people their weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but my other leagues, Justin Fields kind of hurt me.
Yeah.
Especially in the league we're in.
Yeah.
Not starting him.
Yeah, he had Justin Fields on the bench, man. So a lot of things with fantasy football, just letting you know, world, make sure you don't do what Roy did and pull the plug too early. Don't pull the plug too early. Yeah. Justin Fields did do well, too. He balled out, man. Last two weeks, man, with all the stuff that's going on in Chicago, with them losing the defensive coordinator, media trying to paint the picture, the narrative that he was going against his coaches, saying that, man, maybe it's the play calling, and, and then he came back and had to kind of clarify his statements on that. But to your point, though, man, I can't sit here and say I didn't do the same thing I kind of did the same thing, but I got more in return.
Okay.
I hit the panic button a little bit with my team. I had A.J. Brown and A-Chain.
Oh, A-Chain, league winner.
Yeah, so A-Chain, the running back for the Miami Dolphins, it's tough because I was like, man, he just did it one game. They got Raheem Mostert, who's been doing really well. So, but in return, I got Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
So A.J. Brown and A-Chain for Tyreek Hill. So Tyreek did well this week, helped me win. But I'm not making that. I'm staying put, man. I'm staying put for my fantasy gurus out there. Make sure you stay put, man. Don't wave white flag too already, man. You drafted them, stick with them, let it ride out for a little bit.
For sure. For sure. And the crazy thing is, Murph.
Yeah.
The league we're talking about, I'm about to be 1-4.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, if I don't make that move, I'll be sitting at 3-2.
Yeah.
Instead of 1-4.
1-4, yeah.
You see why? So, because fantasy usually goes in waves, right? So you might start out 0-2, but then you might reel off 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row if you just kind of stay put, don't stay true to your team and who you drafted. So I know that's the crazy part. And
see, this is my first year. This is my first year, so I didn't know. I didn't know how it goes. So I was like, man, let me trade. Let me get on the waiver wire every week. And now that I'm seeing it, for the fantasy fans out there or ones that's looking into getting into fantasy football, you got to kind of stay put. It's kind of relevant to the NFL. Like, general manager, you can't just be changing your team and blowing it up. Like, oh, let's change this whole roster in the middle of the season, or early in the season,
Right.
Let it play out. Let it play out.
Yes,
Let it play
that's
out.
the theme. Let it play out.
Let it play out. Let it play out.
Cool. We got a big show, obviously this week, but definitely next week, man, for all the fantasy people out there, definitely tune in. We got a great fantasy show for you guys. So, definitely looking forward to next week's show as well. So, Murph, let's get into it, man. Let's get the show started today.
Let's get on to it, man. Let's get on to it.
So, what we got today, the first question.
First question, man. First question of the day. Will your Super Bowl pick?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your Super
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Lord,
Let's
here we
get
go.
it.
Here
Fly,
we go.
Eagles,
Here we
fly,
go.
baby.
All the Eagle
Yes,
fans, the
sir.
obnoxious Eagle fans out there. Will your Eagles go undefeated this season, Roy?
Yes, the Eagles are gonna go undefeated. Let me tell you why. The Eagles have the best O-line in football. Let's be clear on that, right? So when it comes to running the football, when it comes to throwing the football, Hurts has all the time in the world. I wouldn't say all the time in the world, but a lot of time, more than the average quarterback, to find his guys. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. You saw, and they have so much talent on that team that they can go 1 week without Devontae Smith. They can go, a lot of weeks without their main guys because they have so many guys that can step up. DeAndre Swift out the backfield.
Hold on. Keep going.
So, yeah, again, we have a team that can just beat you in so many different ways, Murph.
Yeah.
And I just like what they're doing. They can win ugly. They can win pretty. So they have a good enough defense. That's a whole nother conversation, right?
Yeah. Defense, huh?
Oh, yeah, that front seven is stout. When you talk about running the ball, ain't no running on that team.
Yeah.
Right? You might be able to get a little something, but yeah, the Eagles, they're ready. And, what can I say?
Okay. So I'm gonna obviously go the opposite way, man. I like the Eagles now. Don't get me wrong. The Eagles are good. They have A.J. Brown. They got the Slim Reaper. Hurts is playing lights out. He's balling. He's killing it in fantasy as well. But to say they're going undefeated, I would have to go no. And here's why. The Eagles have one of the toughest schedules left in the NFL in the season to go. They had the Jets, the Dolphins, the Commanders. They got the Cowboys twice. And they got my Super Bowl pick, Chiefs. With that boy, Patrick Mahomes, boy. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback in the NFL. And they have to face the Bills, Seahawks, and Cardinals, but as far as the Dolphins, the Chiefs, and the Bills, and the Cowboys, those three teams right there is gonna give the Eagles everything they want. They match up well, especially the Dolphins. They match up well as far as receivers versus DBs. The Dolphins defense is playing at a high caliber pace right now, getting turnovers, creating turnovers. But I do respect Roy's pick. The Eagles, I wanted to see if Hurts could do it again. I think they started off the season 12-0, 13-0 last season. They're starting off 5-0. They're only one of the two last teams that are undefeated, which the 49ers and the Eagles are the only last two teams standing with no losses on their record. But to say that they're going undefeated the rest of the way, that's going to be hard to do. That's going to be really hard to do.
Well, Murph, I definitely respect that take. The thing about it is they can win in so many ways like we just talked about. A.J. Brown, you try to stop him, Then they got Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith. Then they got Dallas Goedert. Oh, by the way, like I said, they can run the ball with Swift. So when you look at, and I mean the O-line, matter of fact, I saw something that came out about the tush push or they call it brotherly push.
Yeah.
It's called.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to
Get 1 yard.
The competition committee is trying to maybe make changes surrounding that play. But man,
it needs to be changes.
They're over 90% conversion.
That's cheating.
So if you have a play that nobody can stop,
that's cheating.
Would you stop doing it?
That's cheating.
No.
That's cheating.
No.
Bro, you can't line up and put 2 tight ends, fullback, running back, whatever,
and push them in.
And push them in. How can you do that? How can you do that?
It's not against the rules right now.
Well, technically, there is an old technicality from back in the day that you're really not allowed to push nobody across the end zone.
So why they not calling the flag?
Because it's an old rule. So they gotta get. They gotta.
If it's a rule, that means it's supposed to be flagged, right? If it's a rule.
Yeah, but it's cheating though. That is cheating, man. You cannot line up all 11 players and push the man across. Tom Brady was the greatest quarterback ever, and he didn't have nobody.
Until Jalen Hurts in the tush push.
But you're like, how can you line up and put 2 of your biggest, strongest players on offense right behind the quarterback and push him forward, man? Like, it's like, how can you stop that?
It's impossible to stop. I won't say impossible, but very, very hard. You talking about 92+% conversion on that play, like that's really unheard of. So again, when you have a conversion rate that high, you're gonna keep going to it, Murph. I mean, what can you say?
Yeah.
You got to have the league to step in and stop it, and that's crazy to me. Like, but going back to the Eagles being undefeated, they have all the tools. You saw the Cowboys last night. I don't think they're ready. I don't think they're ready.
Here you go. But back to your point though about that play, 92 percentile is crazy. That is insane. But nobody signs up for NFL ticket. Nobody signs up to watch all these playoff games and go to the Super Bowl to see a 1 yard play. Like, that's not exciting. It's not exciting at all. Like, let's make it. Use your head coaches to figure out another way to get that 1 yard. That's exciting.
Murph.
But to push to line up and just have your whole team pushing for 1 yard, it's just not exciting. I don't think the fans really like that.
But listen, so the rest of the league is at around 80%. And the Eagles are at 92%. So if I have that competitive advantage, Murph, I'm gonna use it. That's just simple logic, right?
Yeah, but I think the refs got to step in and make a call. But your Super Bowl pick, Roy, is doing pretty good right now.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate that.
It's doing really good. It's doing really good. So I can't debate that, man. They are doing good, but I don't like them going undefeated for the rest of the season. There's no way they're gonna beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins, the Chiefs, and the Bills. One of those teams gonna get their number.
Certainly won't be the Cowboys.
Well, we jumping to the next topic, Roy? What's our next topic?
So we have JT just got paid.
Jonathan Taylor. Yeah.
Just got the extension. Okay. Go ahead. I'll let you start off on that.
Well, Jonathan Taylor, for the fans that don't know, he's the running back for the Indianapolis Colts. He set out. He held out. He wanted to get paid from the Indianapolis Colts because he is a top 3 running back in the NFL. Top 3, top 5, depending on who you ask.
Right.
But him getting paid, I think it's good. It's good for the running backs, but it's not. It doesn't solve the overall issue. So yes, I would say that Jonathan Taylor getting paid. What he got, a $42 million deal.
3-year, $42 million, 26.5 guaranteed.
Yep, 26.5 guaranteed, $14 million a year. He's now 3rd highest paid behind Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. So I like the fact that we over here. I like the fact that Jonathan Taylor got paid because it's going to reset the market. It's going to set the market for Tony Pollard. It's going to set the market for Saquon Barkley. It's going to set the market for Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler.
Josh Jacobs
as well. So all these running backs that went into a franchise tag last year, this past season, Roy, now they're up as free agents. So now the market is set at $14 million per year as far as a top 3 running back getting paid recently. You know, Christian McCaffrey got paid. He got $16 million a year. That was a couple years ago. Alvin Kamara got paid a few years ago as well, and it was $15 million a year, and then it dropped off to about $10 million a year, and then now Jonathan Taylor has now reset the market at $14 million. Right. So now the other top running backs can compare their contract. Instead of apples to oranges, it's apples to apples. Right. So I do like the fact that the Colts got this right as far as getting him up to $14 million a year, $26.5 million guaranteed, but his contract is $42 million. Right. So he still has about, over $10 million left on the table in incentives or whatever else, bonuses or whatnot. I am still for NFL running backs, NFL players. I'm always going to be for them getting paid.
Absolutely.
I would have liked to see that contract. It's a 3-year contract. I would like to see that $42 million be fully guaranteed. Fully guaranteed contract for the running backs. So I would have to say, yes, it's good for the other running backs to reset the market for the interim, but the overall issue with the NFLPA discussing with the owners and players having to have this discussion, the tough discussion that has been avoided for years, is the fact that NFL players need to have guaranteed contracts.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you, Murph, as far as the guaranteed contracts, right? I think that was a great day for running backs with Jonathan Taylor getting his 3-year, $42 million deal. $26.5 million guaranteed. I think, to your point, it should be fully guaranteed or a lot more of that contract guaranteed. But yeah, so.
But wait, also last week you said that you think that the owners shouldn't. You didn't say they shouldn't pay him, but you said that the reason why is because of injuries and that running backs get injured at a higher rate,
which is true.
That's not true, but it's true and not true. So which one are you taking? You taking because the owners.
I said the reason why. I said Saquon's latest injury gives the owners a reason why they're investing more into quarterbacks and running backs because of that's a
one, you can't take that one isolated incident with Saquon and say that that's the reason, because before Saquon got hurt they were not trying to pay running backs.
Well, what happened? So nowadays you don't have these bell cow running backs like you did back in the days. Now there's more.
Okay, I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
Most of the league is a committee. You have very few bell cow running backs these days.
Okay.
If you look, because they want to extend the shelf life of these running backs instead of running them into the ground. Today, these players are bigger, faster, stronger, so their bodies wear down a little quicker. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast that we're
If you're bigger, stronger, faster, how can your body wear down more if you're bigger, stronger, faster now?
Bro, because we've seen it. You have ankles that go out. You have hamstrings.
That's the history of the NFL, Roy. That's just how it goes. Injuries happen. That does not mean that a player should not get – they should railroad the running backs because just how important – Jonathan Taylor is to the Colts. Same thing with Saquon Barkley. Same thing with Josh Jacobs to the Raiders. Same thing with Austin Eckler to the Chargers. They have to pay the running backs, and their market has been, devalued.
Right.
So
because
maybe
their shelf life is not
maybe the owners was listening to our podcast last week.
Could have been.
Maybe they was listening last week because now we need to, that is an issue, a narrative that needs to change. And now, out of the blue, this week, from 1 week ago, now this week, we have Jonathan Taylor breaking the bank.
I wouldn't say breaking the bank, but he got his fair share.
Yeah, he got his just due.
He got his just due.
So I just want to understand what side you on, because last week you was on the side of the owners. If I'm in investment and I got to look at an investment and my return on investment and
I still stand on that. I still stand on that.
Okay, explain.
Because when you have a Joe Burrow, for example, right, versus a Joe Mixon, I think Joe Burrow has a more impact on that team's winning than Jonathan Mixon does.
But
I'm gonna be honest. And guess where the money is in our team? Joe Burrow.
But that's not the same issue. That's not the same because
But when you talk about from an investment standpoint, that's why owners are investing more. And even look at the rules of the game. The quarterback has so much protection inside of the game when they're playing than running backs. Right?
that is true.
So why? Why is that? Because they're getting paid more.
But to that point though, you took Joe Burrow. Now we go back to the same conversation with Daniel Jones with the New York Giants and Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is a better asset to the New York Giants than Daniel Jones.
In that situation.
So at the end of the day, that's still kind of apples to oranges. I mean, at the end of the day, it has to become, we got to pay all the running backs, treat everybody fairly. Treat everybody equally, just like you treat the O-linemen. O-linemen get paid well, receivers get paid well, quarterbacks get paid well, D-linemen, defensive backs get paid well. But then it comes to the running backs, it's like, they get hurt more. The tread on the tires runs out faster than other positions, which I think is a bunch of baloney still to this day, because there's historically over time there's running backs that have played more than 10 years in the NFL season, and I could name a lot of running backs that have played more than 10 years in the NFL, starting with Shady McCoy, Fred Taylor, Edgerrin James, Warwick Dunn. The list goes on and on and on.
That's a different era, Murph.
That's not a different era. Okay.
It is.
Okay, how explain that?
Those are bell cow running backs. It's very few, again, bell cow running backs. Look across the league. You have Derrick Henry's a bell cow. Nick Chubb, before he went down, he was a bell cow. Saquon is a bell cow.
Man, let me go through this list right here. I'm gonna go through this list right. I'm gonna just shut your whole argument down because you can say these running backs. You just.
It's a committee league.
I'm naming, but I'm saying though, that all these running backs also had running backs that had a supporting cast. They also had a supporting cast. So with running backs that have played more than 10 years in the NFL, Frank Gore, Adrian Peterson, LaShawn McCoy, Darren Sproles, Steven Jackson, Fred Jackson, Matt Forte, Marshawn Lynch, D'Angelo Williams, Justin Forsett, Ronnie Brown, Thomas Jones, Ricky Williams, Willis McGahee, Chester Taylor, Michael Turner, Cedric Benson, LaDainian Thompson, Tiki Barber, Warwick Dunn, Fred Taylor, Kevin Falk, Curtis Martin, Eddie George, Brian Westbrook. So what you mean?
Today. That's not today.
I'm just
Today's
saying.
game is different.
How is the game back then is way harder. Was harder. The rules were not as favorable to the player. Now you like back then they could get horse collared. They get horse collared at any time. You could tackle all types of ways. So it was like that's what I'm saying. So to say that the running backs get hurt more or
that's true.
Okay, running backs. I need some data on that. I need some data on how much because there's a lot of quarterbacks hurt.
Look up the data. Does running backs get hurt
more than other players
than other positions?
Because you can slight that stat however you want to slight that stat. But at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is down with the New York Jets. Joe Burrow was hurt. Anthony Richardson just got hurt yesterday. Yeah. He's down for multiple weeks. One of your rookie pick that was doing the best.
And he was balling.
And he's down. There's multiple quarterbacks that Jimmy Garoppolo always hurt. So to say that
Austin Eckler's out.
Yeah, but to
Barkley's out.
That's two. Okay, I just named 5 quarterbacks that's down.
Burrow
last
down.
year Tua got hurt. Every quarterback get hurt.
Last year we talking about now.
Dak Prescott was down. So I'm not saying. So what I'm saying is your point is irrelevant. That's all I'm saying. Your point is irrelevant when you talk about running backs versus quarterbacks getting hurt. Everybody get hurt.
So let me give you another example.
So to say
Saquon got 342. What did Joe Burrow just re-up on? What did Jalen Hurts re-up on? Like these guys are breaking the bank. Yeah. What is Deshaun Watson contract is versus what Jonathan Taylor just got? That just shows you.
This is a quarterback-driven league. Okay. I understand that. This is a quarterback-driven league. You got to pay the quarterback.
And just leave it at that.
It's a quarterback. No. You can't leave it at that. No, don't try to do that. You can't leave it at that. It's a quarterback-driven league. I understand that. It's a quarterback-driven league. But that quarterback is not as good without a good running back. If you don't have a running back that's in protection, blocking his blind side, and the quarterback get blindsided and get hurt, that's gonna hurt your number one investment on the team.
Yes, here's why. You have a Zach Wilson versus a Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts. Zach Wilson can be a detriment to a team, right? He can be a detriment to the team. So you have to invest in the right players, the right quarterbacks. So that's why they went out and got Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Because the quarterback can really determine the path of your team.
It can, but then they're also sitting at 2-3 right now, and everybody thought that the whole season was going to be thrown out the window.
What it would have been with Aaron Rodgers?
They probably would have been 5-0. They probably would have been 5-0, probably 4-1 at the worst. Your point, I get that. But at the end of the day, they have won 2 games, and they have a running back by the name of Breece Hall, who is toting that pill till the air come out of it. So I don't care.
And he won't ever get paid more than Aaron Rodgers, and that's a fact.
Yes, he won't. I understand that, but I'm saying that to say that quarterbacks are worth $50 million a year, $40 to $50 million a year, versus a running back being $10 million a year, that's a huge drop-off.
It is. It is.
That's a huge drop-off for a position that is drafted high. Well, they haven't been drafted high lately because of this whole narrative about running backs or get hurt. But they get hurt just like quarterbacks. Got drafted high. Bijan got drafted high. Well, he was number
8, was he?
He was drafted high. He's with the Atlanta Falcons. Top 10 pick with the Atlanta Falcons.
Right.
Okay. And I could say that he might even went top 5. But my thing is you cannot say that quarterback is valued at $50 million and the top market for a running back is $15 million. It's just not. It's not economical. It's not good for the culture of the game.
Well, I'm gonna prove that point. I'm gonna tell you why, Murph. Why you're wrong. Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Without Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs do not win that Super Bowl. I'm gonna take your motion from last week. And what running back did they have?
They had a running back.
Isaiah Pacheco.
Yes.
Who heard of him before last year?
McKinnon.
Yeah, McKinnon, yeah. So, committee, right?
Yeah.
Yes, So, what I'm saying to you is you get a bad boy in Patrick Mahomes, and then you got a running back committee. Look at that.
But there's other teams that have won Super Bowls that have had running backs that have took the load off the quarterback for multiple seasons.
Ooh.
I mean, to name the list, I just gave you 30 running backs. I just gave Roy 30 running backs who have played longer than 10 years in NFL. Okay. So to say that after 4 or 5 years, 6 years that you're saying that the trade is done, they should still be able to get 10, 11, 12 seasons. And that's why it's just the narrative. We got to change the narrative because the narrative is being painted that running backs get hurt and that's why they're not getting paid. And they're not as valuable, or we can use a committee. We could go get an undrafted free agent and put him on and make him a freaking Edgerrin James. Like, it don't work like that.
So look at Derrick Henry. How old is Derrick Henry hit 30 yet? I don't think he's 30 years old yet. Is he 30?
No, Derrick Henry got to be pushing 30, without a doubt.
I mean, he could be pushing, but I don't think he's at 30. I think he's 28, 29. He might be 29.
I'll look it up while you go.
Go ahead and look it up. But Derrick Henry has lost a step, and he's not 30 years old yet. You can't look at Derrick Henry and tell me he has not lost a step. He has. You know why? Because he has so many miles on his feet, right? He got so many hits on his body. Like, over time, that wears on your efficiency.
Derrick Henry's 29 years old.
29 years old, and he's already declining.
He's not declining. The team ain't good. The Titans not good. The Titans ain't good. When the Titans been good?
Titans being a playoff team.
Man, put Derrick Henry with Patrick Mahomes. I guarantee he's another 1,000-yard rusher this year.
1,000 yards?
Yes. Put him with the Dallas Cowboys, 1,000 yards. You put him with the 49ers, 1,000-yard running back. Put him with the Philadelphia Eagles, 1,000-yard running back. What are you saying?
So you saying the Titans don't have a good O-line? They have a pretty decent O-line.
Man, the Titans. We talking about the Titans, Roy.
Well, they got a quarterback.
The Titans.
They got a quarterback issue. Let's start with Ryan Tannehill. Do I need to say more than Ryan Tannehill?
But
no.
To say that Derrick Henry is declining, you out here putting this in the world talking about Derrick Henry is declining. He went to Tennessee Titans.
Look at his efficiency. His efficiency has gone down the last few years.
This man
he don't have the same burst.
He was a 1,000-yard rusher last year.
That's why they got Tajay Spears coming in, taking way more snaps. When Derrick Henry, is he playing? I don't even think he's playing 60% of the snaps these days. Because, again, they want the younger, fresher, faster legs in the game. I'm trying to tell you. Look it up.
This man had last year, Derrick Henry.
I'd be surprised if they bring him back next year. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's just the way the league is going.
Talking about rushing yards?
Yards per attempt.
Well, yeah.
And yards after contact.
Oh, the man last year rushed for 1,500 yards, Roy.
Right. But is he
How is he
gonna do that
declining?
again? Oh, is he going to do that again? What did he do a year before that?
He had 1,000 the year before that.
He had 1,000 because might have been some injuries. But,
And he had 2,000 the year before that.
Okay, so he's starting to see the drop off a little bit.
No, 1,500. He went from 1,500, 2,000, 1,000, 1,500.
And I'm gonna tell you, he's not gonna go for 1,500 this year. I'm gonna tell you.
But
that.
I mean, geez, that's like saying
he's
man,
on a decline because he's not gonna go for those 2,000.
But asking a running back to go for 1,500 yards is like, hey man, I need you to hit this half court shot right now. I need you to shoot from one side of the court all the way to the other side of the court.
But if he's 23, 24, 25, he's gonna hit that.
There's not too many running backs in the NFL right now that's gonna do 1,500 yards this year, this season.
Oh, A-Chain might do it.
One, and he's got a committee with Raheem Mostert. So to sit here and say that the running backs, he's declining is just not true.
CMC might do that.
CMC, yes, that's probably only one running back that could give you 1,000 yards. That's and over to get 1,500 yards. He's gonna have receiving yards, and he's gonna have rushing yards.
He can give you 1,500 rushing.
So that is just back to my point. Back to my point is a bunch of baloney. And congratulations, Jonathan Taylor, on getting your contract. Yeah, 14 a year, $42 million deal, 26.5 guaranteed. That's a big win for the running backs. Now the question is, how much is Saquon Barkley gonna get paid? How much is Josh Jacobs gonna get paid? How much is Austin Eckler gonna get paid? Who you said Derrick Henry's trending down. These guys, I still think they're trending up. All those guys are trending upwards.
I didn't say nothing about other guys. I said Derrick Henry.
So answer the question.
I'll be surprised if they bring him back next year. I think he's in the last year of his deal, I believe.
Okay, and I know a team that'll take him. I know a team that'll take him.
A lot of teams that'll take him, but is he going to be the same player? Just like Dalvin Cook. He's gonna fell off a cliff.
No, Dalvin Cook has not fell off a cliff, Roy.
Okay. He's the Minnesota Vikings Dalvin Cook. That's what you gonna sit here and say?
He had 1,300 yards last year. He was one of the top running backs in the league this year.
No, I'm talking about now.
I'm just listen what I'm telling you. Last year, he was a 1,300-yard rusher, Pro Bowler, took his team to the playoffs.
Okay.
Now he goes to the New York Jets.
Right.
And he has Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers goes down. Now they're trying to figure it out with Zach Wilson, who everybody in New York wanted to throw in the trash can.
Right.
So to say that an elite running back who has been a prime elite running back in the NFL for year after year after year after year, to say that he's just he's non-existent, that's talking in fantasy football terms. That's not being realistic. This man just had to move his whole family to a whole new city.
Who?
Dalvin Cook.
You're right.
He had to move his family to a whole new city. He had to get his kids in a new school. His wife, and they got to figure out all that stuff. Bro, that weighs on you as a player.
He got cut back in March.
But he just got picked up by the Jets. He just got picked up right before the season started. Like a week before the NFL season started, Dalvin Cook got picked up by the Jets. So now you got to get all reacclimated, and to say that he's not good anymore, and you got a quarterback that should be 4th string in the NFL. Zach Wilson should be 4th string. Right. So to say
he
that
would have been if no.
Yeah, so he's not. So it's not that he's declining. He's in a new environment. He's in a new system. He don't know the trainers. He don't know the equipment staff. He don't know nothing. He's just there. He's trying to fit in.
So you honestly believe Dalvin Cook is that same player he was in Minnesota right now? Not last year, not 2 years before. I'm talking about right now.
You're talking about last year versus right now.
Yes.
I believe Dalvin Cook.
You believe Dalvin Cook the same player? Okay, go.
I believe Dalvin Cook is the same player.
Okay.
And the reason why I believe Dalvin Cook is the same player is because of the situation.
Okay.
If you move from one side of the country, to the other side of the country, it's going to be an adjustment. You might be late to work a few times. You might, you know what I'm saying? It's adjustment. It's an adjustment to getting into a new environment. And I understand, I respect fans' perspective. I do, because the fans make the game go. But from a professional standpoint, you leaving Minnesota, going to New York, trying to figure it out, and he's in his 9th season in the NFL. That does not mean that he's declining. He's not getting the opportunities. In Minnesota, he was getting the ball at least 15 to 20 touches. 15 to 20 touches. Can he get 15 to 20 touches now with the New York Jets? Yes, but
Not
they have
with Breece Hall.
But exactly, you make my point. You see what I'm saying? Like,
But
if I'm not giving
touching the rock, he's not the same explosive player that he was in Minnesota. Bro. I'm trying to tell you.
But the thing about running backs is you have to have 15 to 20 carries for the fans. You gotta have 20 carries to be efficient. So you might go 10 carries for 20 yards. But then that 11th carry, you break off a 70-yard run. So now 11 carries plus those 20 yards. Now you're at 90 yards on 11 carries. So you're averaging close to 8 to 9 yards a carry. But before that one play, you were at 10 carries for 20 yards, averaging 2 yards a carry. But then you break it off. So if I'm a running back and I'm only getting 3, 4, 5 touches a game, you cannot say that I'm declining. I'm not getting the ball. That's how it goes. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. That's how it goes. If you don't get the ball, I can't prove you nothing. If my boss don't give me an opportunity to show what I could do, there's nothing. You can't say that I'm declining. And that's the same thing with narratives. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, again, his carries has been reduced from week
Facts.
1 to week now to now. Week 5? We in week 5. His carries has consistently gone down. Why? Because he hasn't done much with his carries. That's just because if he was performing with his carries, guess what? He will have the consistent 10 carries a game. But
that's what I love about the NFL. That's what I love about the NFL.
So Tom Brady will tell you. There's a story I seen the other day with Tom Brady. Tom Brady was basically a backup. He was a third string, I believe. But Tom Brady went to the coach and was like, "Hey, coach, I'm not getting enough reps to show what I can do." And the coach said, "You know what, Tom? With the 2 to 3 reps that you're getting, you better make those the best reps anybody have ever seen." And so he took that information from the coach, and he made those 2 to 3 reps the best reps you ever seen, to the point where the coach started giving him more reps because he performed and he maximized on the few reps that he had. So, and he became the player he is, as we all know he is today. But what I'm saying to you is, it doesn't matter if you have 1 carry or 10 carries. You better be efficient on the 1 or 2 carries you get.
I understand that. And this is where I just don't feel it's fair. Because that's like saying in the real world, because I feel the NFL is a fantasy world versus the real world.
Oh, now it's a fantasy world.
I mean, it is, because
don't lie.
The standards that fans have on players is just astronomically not even equivalent to what the standards they have on themselves. Because you're telling me that if your boss say you got this one chance to get a raise, this one chance to get a promotion, and if you don't,
I'm pretty sure it's not just one
and
chance.
if you don't get 100%, if you don't do better than 100%, you ain't getting another chance. Like, that is insane to me. That's exactly what you just said. Like, that's crazy. Like, even if it's 2 chances, 3 chances, like I said, Dalvin Cook is only getting the ball 2 to 3 times a game.
And what are you doing with those opportunities? That's what we're talking about.
But what I'm trying to help you understand is that as a running back, it takes 10 to 20 carries for you to even be equivalent to make some action. Now, it's not like a wide receiver. You could get 1 catch and go 60 yards. Mm-hmm. But a running back, you got the whole defense in front of you. You got 11 players chasing you to tackle you right from the beginning. So as soon as you get the ball, you got 11 players right there. Receiver, you could be on the outside and you going one-on-one and you get that 1 chance and you catch it and you go for 80. That's different.
Right.
Running back, you running right into 350-pound linemen that run a 4-4.
Right.
Like, you can't negate the fact that running back job is super hard, running through the holes, having to go against the linebackers, the DBs, everybody.
Right.
So it takes time. You got to get. When I coach football, I'm giving my running back the ball.
You got to warm up. That's what you're saying.
You got to give them the ball multiple times, man. And if you look at any running back across the league, there's no running back that's just going to get the ball one time and just go score.
Breece Hall. No, I'm just.
Yeah, exactly. He had multiple carries. He had multiple. Breece Hall, they starting running back for the New York Jets, had multiple carries that was like 2-3 yard gains, 1 yard gains.
Well,
and then he breaks one.
He got the extra gear that Dalvin don't got no more. That's what I'm trying to say.
You can say that he don't have extra gear, but he ain't declining. I don't see, like, he ain't declining.
He used to have the gear, now he don't. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but to that point, he's not getting the opportunities.
Okay.
So, Dalvin Cook, I'm on your side, brother.
And don't get me wrong, man. The NFL is a hard sport to play. It's a lot of wear and tear on your body. So
the hardest sport.
Yeah, the hardest sport, right? As it comes to physicality. So
team sport. the hardest team sport. I'll say that.
So, you know, we're always for the guys getting paid. We're always for the guys. You know, it's a tough job. So, you know, please
don't switch up now, Roy.
Please, anybody, don't take these.
Don't switch up. No, don't switch up. If they take it personally, they take it personally. That is what it is. We got to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
That's true.
So if they take it personally, Roy, don't backpedal. Now you look like Deion Sanders.
No, I'm just.
You look like Deion Sanders backpedaling. You out of there.
Prime time, baby. What you mean?
Don't backpedal now.
We're not backpedaling. I'm just.
Don't backpedal now.
I'm telling the world.
My homeboys already hit me up, man, talking boy, hey, Murph, don't be going too hard, don't go crazy. Hey, man, they take it personal. They take it personal. I'm sorry.
No, hold on. Now, I'm gonna always recognize the hard work them guys put in. So I'm not gonna take away from what those guys do from a day to day. So, but
no,
again,
don't backpedal. Roy backpedaling, man.
No backpedaling.
Roy backpedaling.
We standing on it.
Okay, stand on it then. Leave it at that.
All right. Well,
so we jumping into the next thing, man. Well, we're gonna just take first of all, shout out to 1-on-1's podcast. We're gonna give you a Red Lady Punch. Make sure you go grab you some Red Lady Punch on the Jared Carter. We could be found in multiple stores, locations. The only rum punch in the country, right there, is gonna break the market, guys. Make sure you go grab you some Red Lady Punch. Also, shout out to our producer, All Photos Considered, Deacon Will. Thank you, D, for having us on the show, man. If you need wedding pictures, you need a wedding videographer, you need to do a podcast, you want to do your own show, All Photos Considered, look it up. You get great service, man. Great service.
Absolutely. So, shout out, Deep.
Jump into our next topic. Last night, Sunday Night Football.
Your Cowboys. Let's be clear. Your Cowboys.
Hey, no, I'm with the Cowboys this year. Let's get it clarified. Let's clarify that. 49ers versus Cowboys reaction. Roy, what's your reaction? What's your take?
Man, 49ers look very good. They are the number one contender to my Eagles pick. They completely destroyed the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott, again, I also mentioned he's the reason why they won't go to the NFC Championship is because there's still a lot of questions surrounding Dak Prescott. And I said that before, I'm going to say it again. Dak Prescott is mediocre at best. I keep telling you that, and I'm going to keep preaching the same song. Dallas is not going to be where they want to be with Dak Prescott. And also, that defense don't look as tough without Diggs on the other side of Stephon Gilmore. I'm telling you. But they're still a good enough defense to make a good playoff run, but they're not elite like the 49ers or the Eagles. So they're gonna win most of their games. But when they run into the Eagles and the 49ers, especially talking about playoffs, it's gonna be an issue. They couldn't barely run the ball last night. They had turnovers on offense. Defensively, they kind of gave up towards the end. CMC and those guys on the 49ers line, they were just more physical. They were the more physical team. The offense is a little too finesse. The defense is trying to get that 49ers toughness, but they're still not there yet. 49ers offensively, man, they look really good. That boy Brandon Ayuk, he's on another level this year at the receiver position. Debo was the typical Debo. He was lining up in the backfield. He was out wide making plays, running through the middle of that defense. George Kittle, vintage, 3 touchdowns.
He's definitely on my fantasy team.
He won some people some weeks as well. So, Brock Purdy. Can we talk about Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant? He was definitely relevant last night. So, the 49ers look good, man.
Man, the 49ers definitely, they were one of your top teams coming into this season.
Right.
And I respect the 49ers. I love what Kyle Shanahan is doing with the 49ers. I like what Brock Purdy is doing. But to go back to our point, yesterday, who would you say is the number one running back in the NFL currently right now?
What I got to do with 49ers?
I just got a question. Who would it be Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, I say CMC.
CMC's no one running back.
Right.
Okay, so to my point, yesterday Christian McCaffrey had 19 carries for 51 yards. He almost had 20 carries for 51 yards. And he's Roy's number one running back in the rest of the world, because I would say he's the number one running back in the NFL as well, currently
Okay,
today
right.
too. But he had 20 carries for 50 yards.
Okay.
And he only averaged 2.7 yards a carry. You know what I'm saying? So to say
For
that
this one game, but go ahead.
exactly, that's what I mean. So having those win-off games, and he's gonna have more than that this season, and then he's gonna have break out and he's gonna have a 10 carry game for 100 yards, you know,
right.
or a 20 carry game for 200 yards.
Right.
You know, so just want to
this Dallas
finish that
defense
point.
too now.
I just want to finish that point. Yeah,
This ain't no pushover defense.
It's not a pushover defense, but just to finish that point, the same thing with Dalvin Cook. He's had games where he's only had 2-3 carries. Give him 19 carries. Give Dalvin Cook 19 carries.
You got 19 when you got Breece Hall?
But if you give him 19 carries, he'll have more than 51 yards. Guaranteed.
Against the Dallas Cowboys.
Guaranteed. I'm just saying,
No.
give him 19 carries. I'm just saying, give him 19 carries. Okay. But to the point, though, Dallas Cowboy fans, please do not get discouraged. It is early on in the season. Roy wants to jump on the 49er bandwagon, been on it for well, he's been riding it for a while. He's been riding it for a while.
Ain't no bandwagon. I'm going to tell you something.
He been riding it
Murph and I, especially me, I know Murph will too. I'm going to call it like I see. I told y'all. 49ers, Eagles, book it. I told y'all.
I don't believe 49ers, Eagles.
In the NFC Championship, I said that.
I don't believe that. I believe Eagles. I believe Eagles go to the NFC Championship.
Not the 49ers?
No, I believe Eagles. Eagles.
No, it's two teams in the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
So who's the other team besides the Eagles?
It'll be Eagles. It'll be
and the 49ers. Go ahead and say it. He don't want to say it. He's trying not to say it, but he going to have to say it.
No, but I like the 49ers, though. I like the 49ers, but I like the Cowboys, too. Cowboys just had a bad game. I believe they had a bad game. Dak threw 3 interceptions. He gets you hyped up. The Dallas Cowboys, they get you hyped up, then they they let you down. It's been that for years. It's been the same story, but I think this is a different team. I think this team is going to do better than it's done in the past.
Who, the Cowboys?
The Cowboys.
Okay.
Cowboys going to have to see the 49ers. 49ers going to have to see the Cowboys again. They're going to have to see them again.
Back in San Francisco, and you know how that looked.
Yeah, they're going to have to see them again, and I like the Cowboys coming out on top on that. So I tell all my Dallas Cowboy fans, relax. Don't even worry about it. The boys going to be all right.
So you think they could win or go far places with Dak Prescott at quarterback? After what you've seen, 3 interceptions last night?
I mean, one, San Francisco 49ers defense is arguably the number 1 defense in the NFL. San Francisco 49ers got the number 1 defense. So to say that, Dak Prescott is not.
They intimidating. They hit you in the mouth.
Yeah, they hit you. But the thing about it is that I definitely think that Dak Prescott had a bad game. Every player is entitled to a few bad games in the season.
49ers yesterday, Murph, was like a bullying a weaker person. Because when you looked at that, I mean, they just out physical them. They bullied them. They really played bully ball last night.
Well,
the 49ers defense.
But hold on.
And the Cowboys folded like a piece of paper.
No, but the thing about it is though, is that the Cowboys, when Warner made Tony Pollard fumble, right? It was 7-0. And then the 49ers got the ball at like the 10-yard line. Just go in and score. They don't have 10 yards to go. Christian McCaffrey get to the goal line and get stripped. Fumble the ball at the 1-yard line. Got popped. Stripped.
He
got popped. He got popped. And took the ball away from him. And guess what? Then Dallas got the ball back. And then they were backed up in their end zone, and they had to go 99 yards. It was a playoff atmosphere. It was a playoff game. Boys was flying around. They was hitting each other hard. So to say that, and then also to your point, with Diggs going down, Trayvon Diggs going down, that hurts the other side, And then there was some questionable defensive calls as far as going man-to-man coverage, on third down. And it was some questionable calls, but it's still early. It's still early in the season. It's early in the season, and to all the Cowboy fans out there, I say stick with them boys. Them boys ain't them. Because the top 3 teams, in my opinion, in the NFC are the Philadelphia Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys. So for those 3 teams are going to be in it some way, somehow. And I don't think the Cowboys is going anywhere anytime soon. They had a bad game, and that's that.
Yeah, they're number 3 behind the 49ers. And the
So
Eagles.
I don't believe that is so much that the 49ers are that good versus Cowboys had a bad game.
Hold on. 49ers are undefeated, man. Their 49ers are undefeated. How are they not that good?
I mean, they ain't really played nobody.
They ain't play nobody?
No, they have not. They played the Steelers, the Rams.
Smash the Steelers.
The Steelers, the
Smash
Rams,
the Cowboys.
the Giants,
Hold on,
the
let me say that again.
Cardinals.
Smash
Come on,
the
man.
Cowboys.
Like, come
Hold
on, man.
no.
Be for real. They ain't played nobody. They ain't played
Cowboys
nobody.
ain't nobody?
They ain't there. That's one. That's one.
And smashed them.
Out of 5 teams, they played one good team.
The Cowboys.
They played one good team
and smashed them.
They played one good team. One good team. They ain't got they scheduled. Now when they get into that AFC play, when they get to go face the Bengals, when they get to go play the Jaguars, when they go play
you know why they can go anywhere?
the Eagles.
You know what?
When they go play the Eagles, yo, fly Eagle fly.
Yeah.
When they go play them, when they go play them, it's gonna be a totally different season. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They ain't playing nobody. The Steelers ain't nothing. What are you talking about?
They just beat the Ravens. Your Ravens yesterday.
Man, that fluke game.
Nah.
The Rams, the Giants. I'm just saying.
Your Ravens?
I'm just saying they ain't got into their part of the schedule. Like I said, it's early. It's 5 games into the season. They got 12 more games. You got 12 more games to get into what the real football. Real football. If you play football, you know football. Real football starts in November, December. That's when the real games start. That's when the real competition starts.
Hold on. First of all, these games set for playoff seedings and rankings.
Yeah.
So these games are important.
They're important.
Because guess what?
They're important.
Because if you got to go through San Francisco to get to, it's going to be a problem, a big problem. If you got to go through Philadelphia Eagles, go through Philly to get to the Super, it's going to be a big problem. These games matter.
Yeah, the road going. The road going to probably go through San Fran or the Eagles.
Yeah, it's going.
The road going to go through there.
So guess what? You got to win these games to make that happen.
Yes, but that's the difference. It's different between saying, "Oh, I got this paper to work on and it's due in a month," versus when it get down to them last couple days. When you get down to them last couple days, boy, it means something a little different. Like, boy, you got to get this paper done.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to relate it to business versus, or
so what you're
bro
saying
versus pro. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. When November, December come,
well, yes, it's basically playoff time for some teams.
You tighten your cleats a little tighter.
It's playoff
you
time
buckle
for
your
some
chin
teams.
strap a little tighter. You put your mouthpiece in because you know it's time.
Because it's do or die for some teams.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Either making the playoffs or going home.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Later on in the middle of their season, the toughest part of their schedule is in the middle. In the middle, they got the Browns. They're going to start the AFC road. They got the Browns. Then they got the Vikings. Then they got the Bengals, the Jaguars. Bengals, Jaguars. You just talked about Joe Burrow. And then they got to see them Bucks. We got to see them. They got to see them Bucks. Yeah, they got to see them Bucks, man.
I love the Bucks.
Yeah,
Bucks
we was on a bye week, so don't even bring my team up. We was on a bye week. Don't even bring my team up.
You seen what the Eagles did to the Bucks? The 49ers going to do the same thing, bro. I'm just going to be honest. Like, Mike Evans going to get his numbers. Godwin going to get his numbers.
Don't play the fence,
Baker,
Roy.
What?
Don't play the fence. Don't play the fence.
What?
You ride with 49ers, and the Bucks going to beat the 49ers. I'm saying it here right now on One-on-One's podcast. Bucks going to beat the 49ers. And who you like?
Why you smiling? You don't even believe that for real.
Who you like? Who you like?
You don't even believe that for real.
Who you like? I like the Bucks beat the 49ers.
Hey, that's one thing I know about my brother, but I know when you feel me?
Cap game. I like the Bucks. I like the Bucks to beat the 49ers. I don't care about that. But like I said, in the middle of their season, the Bengals, Jaguars, 49ers, the Bucks, Seahawks, Eagles. And I like the Eagles to beat the 49ers, Roy. What's up?
Eagles to beat the 49ers?
I like the Eagles to beat the 49ers.
Yeah, I told you fly.
No.
Yeah.
You just talking about 49ers. Roll go through San Fran.
Bro, I said the road go through San Fran or Philly, bro. I said that.
Yeah.
It's going through one of them.
Okay, so now you backtracking off 49ers.
No, bro. We talking about the 49ers, Cowboys. Smash the Cowboys. Yes.
All right.
My 2 picks was 49ers, Eagles.
You can't have 2 picks. You pick
in the
Eagles.
NFC Championship.
You pick Eagles. So you say, so now you – I'm just saying, the way that I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give you a chance. The way that the 49ers beat the Cowboys yesterday, Roy, do you like the 49ers over the Eagles right now?
Come on, why? See, he trying to set me up. Y'all see this? He's trying to set me up, right?
Ooh.
So I honestly, before the season, I said it's going to be the 49ers and Eagles in the NFC Championship, and that's what it's going to be.
All right, cool, man. Move on to the next guy. What we got next, Roy?
All right, Jets versus Broncos played yesterday. There was a lot of underlying
undertones
and storylines in this game. We had Nathaniel Hackett from the New York Jets, offensive coordinator. As you all know, he was fired from the Denver Broncos during the season, last season, and then he went over to the Jets. Then there was this off season, and then the Broncos hired.
So the main thing that happened was
I'm trying to get everybody the backstory.
Yeah. Give them backstory, because the main part of the backstory that you can bring me to the shot with me and Roy. The main story is, and this is the question: Sean Payton became the new head coach with the Denver Broncos.
Right.
Nathaniel Hackett left and went to the Jets, offensive coordinator with Aaron Rodgers and the whole Jets program. Sean Payton came on record over the summer during training camp. He, and I quote, Sean Payton, from the head coach from the Denver Broncos, said, "This might have been one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL." So he said that about Nathaniel Hackett, the head coach, the offensive coordinator for the Jets. And the Jets and Broncos played yesterday. So what would you ask, Roy? It would be, well, the Nathaniel Hackett versus Sean Payton feud. What's your take?
Well, honestly, looking at it, man, Sean Payton, he was wrong, man, because that Denver Broncos team is probably worse this year than it was last year with Nathaniel Hackett. At least last year, that defense was top notch. That was a top 3 defense, top 5, definitely top 5 defense in the league last year. Now they're probably the worst defense in the league, to be honest, this year. Offensively, they can't really do much. I know Javonte Williams coming off a knee injury, so they're trying to ease him back in. So, they just look bad, man, on both sides of the ball. Last year, it was just the offense that was pretty bad. Now it's both sides of the ball that's bad. And there are reports that the Broncos are trying to have a fire sale, essentially, before the trade deadline. So, Sean Payton is definitely eating his words after yesterday's game.
I don't like the fact that Sean Payton came out and said that it's supposed to be an unwritten law, unwritten rule for NFL coaches, to come out and say that, this is the worst coaching job, that he's ever seen in the NFL is, one, it's unprofessional.
Yes, sir.
And then two, he had to eat his words.
He had
to eat his words. He lost to the Jets yesterday 31-21 with a Zach Wilson at quarterback. I could have seen if it was Aaron Rodgers at quarterback and he lost.
It would have been worse.
Yeah, well, it would have been worse, but I'm saying as far as Sean Payton lost to a second-tier, third-tier quarterback, and then he cursed out Russell Wilson. He went off on Russell Wilson on sideline.
What you think about that? You think that's warranted or what?
I don't believe
as a player.
I don't believe any coach should talk to a player like that at any given moment of the game. For Sean Payton to come out and go belligerent on Russell Wilson, who has
kept y'all in the game.
Kept them in the game. Who's won a Super Bowl, been to 2. He's been runner-up for MVP of the NFL. In Roy's terms, he's on the decline.
I didn't say that about Russell Wilson. I like Russell Wilson.
Old players, you always say they're on the decline.
No, that's
he's
not
not doing as good as he used to do.
But I said he kept him in the game. I ain't say he was on the decline.
But he's not doing as good as he used to do. So what does that mean?
He's still top 20 quarterback, 15 to 20.
You went from 15 to 20. That's a big jump.
Between 15 and 20. He probably top 15.
He definitely top 15. He's better than half of the quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, he's top 15. So he's straight. Russell's straight. He better than Zach Wilson. Yeah, he better than half of the quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, for Sean Payton to come out and say, "Oh, this might have been the worst coaching job in NFL history," is one, like I said, unprofessional, and it shows a lot about him. And he wouldn't have never done that to Drew Brees. I don't think I ever seen him publicly, rip Drew Brees. So now that you've been with Drew Brees all these years and now you're trying to, you're under the gun, you're getting paid well. I think he's, in the $100 million contract with the Broncos. And, I want to see the Broncos do bad, but I want to see Russell Wilson do good. Just because Sean Payton, he went too far left with that. As far as calling out other coaches, it's a fraternity of coaches. You always give respect to the other coaches and to your opponents. But, to call a man out on his job and what he did, I think he got what he deserved, to be honest. But I don't want to stay on that topic long. What we jumping into next, Roy?
So the next question is Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. Is Bill Belichick on the hot seat?
Yes. I would say Bill Belichick is on the hot seat. You might go, no, I'm not sure what you're going to say. But Bill Belichick is on the hot seat. The reason why he's on the hot seat is because they're not winning. And he should, even though he's won 6 Super Bowls, I get it. He's won 6 Super Bowls. But a lot of people will argue, and myself included, that Tom Brady had a lot to do with the winning those Super Bowls. So with Bill Belichick, not sniffing the playoffs, not going to make the playoffs this year. He did make the playoffs last year. I think they made the playoffs his first year without Tom Brady, lost in the first round. They're not doing well as a team. And I think he should be on the hot seat just like any other NFL coach. If you don't win, it's, hey, what have you done for me lately? So what's your take, Roy?
Bill Belichick has the magic run out. No, the magic has not run out.
Okay.
The reason why the magic has not run out is because he don't have the personnel. Now, is it his fault that he's still sticking with Mac Jones, which he's below average quarterback? Yes, that's on him. But I think Bill Belichick still knows how to coach. His defense,
he know how to coach, but
his defense is always going to be top tier. He's unfortunately had a few injuries, like that young rookie cornerback that was playing really good, Christian Gonzalez. He's a top corner in this league already. Judon just got hurt as well. He just got paid as well, read up right before the season. So he's still gonna be there. It's just the offense he has to fix, and I think he can fix it with a new quarterback. But I still think Bill can get the job done. It's just right now his offense is letting him down.
Man, Bill Belichick is on the hot seat, period. He lost 34-0 to the Saints. He lost the week before that, he lost 38-3 to the Cowboys. He's on the hot seat, Roy. I just believe he's on the hot seat. He hasn't been to the playoffs. Everybody can argue that Tom Brady won those Super Bowls versus because Tom Brady left the Patriots, came to the Bucs, and won a Super Bowl. And now he's not winning. He hasn't been to the playoffs, and their team is really, one of the worst in the NFL right now. So, will Robert Kraft ever fire Bill Belichick? Probably not. But he should be on the hot seat, and that's what the media is for. We got to talk about it. So he need to be on the hot seat because they not winning, and they not believing in Matt Jones. 34-0. They ain't score a point. They ain't score 1 point yesterday. And Bill Belichick's supposed to have this masterful defense. He got 34 hung on him this week. Last week got 38 hung up on him. So, yeah, he need to be on the hot seat.
So the Patriots and their quarterback situation is similar to the Jets and their quarterback situation. When you got an offense that can barely score, it's really demoralizing to the defense, right? Because it's like, okay, can y'all score to keep us in the game? When the defense really feeds off the offense. So if the offense scoring, doing their job, then the defense can go out there and do their job. But if the defense is always on the field, they're getting wore down, they're getting tired, and they know that your offense can't score, then the defense is going to slip. They can only do so much.
Gotcha.
So
I'm with you on that. Transferring into our last segment of the day, viewers audible. Do we have any questions from the audience?
Viewers audible. That's a part of the show where
viewers audible.
You as a fan can come in and give your input on the topics we're discussing today.
Yep.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on our YouTube page.
Yes.
One-on-ones podcast with Murph and Roy. So just go ahead and look us up on
like,
YouTube.
subscribe, comment. We got every platform: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I can't believe we got a TikTok now, Roy. I never thought I'd see the day where I have a TikTok. Podcast. I just, got to join the generation. Okay. Make sure you put a Q in front of your question or comment. Like, make sure you put a Q to let us know if it's a question or if it's a comment. You know, we're trying to figure out. We got viewers audible, just like in the game. You're going down, you're on the drive, 2 minutes to go in the game, and you got an audible. The defense is changing their defense from one defense to another defense, cover 3 to cover 2, cover 2 to cover 1, and then you got to check Omaha. You know, everybody know we got to alert. You know, they cover 0, no deep, no deep, no deep. You know, all types of deals. Ooh,
what's our
Jonathan?
Shout out Jonathan.
Shout out Jonathan for tapping in, man. And his question is, what is our take on KC, Kansas City Chiefs? I'll take that.
Jonathan, that was your AFC pick.
Yeah, that's my AFC pick and my Super Bowl pick. My AFC and Super Bowl pick is Kansas City Chiefs. I like Kansas City. I love Patrick Mahomes. I love Andy Reid. I believe Andy Reid is, if not the best coach of all time, top 2 coaches of all time. Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift. I think that's a great story. This season. I think that's good for the NFL. Seeing Taylor Swift at all the games. I mean, she packed stadiums out the same way the Chiefs packed stadiums out. So for Travis Kelce to be dating Taylor Swift, I think that's really cool for the league.
You talking about Taylor Swift or football?
Hey man, we talking Taylor Swift. Hey, all my Swift fans out there. I got three daughters. So yeah, I'm good with the Taylor Swift crew.
So you a Swiftie?
I'm a Swiftie, man. I'm a Swiftie. Don't ask me to sing a song either. But but the thing is that I see the problem with. I mean, we got Chris Jones got paid. Got a restructure in his deal. He's gonna probably get paid next season. The running backs by committee, and Roy's take, he always talks about running backs with committee. They have nice running backs. I need to see the receivers step up. Even though I love Marquez Valdez-Scantling from St. Pete, it's all love, little bro. But we need, I don't know if that's a play calling issue, if they're just trying to force feed Travis Kelce. But, even Kadarius Toney, being a former Gator, he's a baby Gator, got orange and blue in his DNA. Needs some more play out of the receivers. For them to win the Super Bowl. But it's early in the season. So I know how football goes. It's going to take some time for, Mahomes to get used to his new receivers, especially losing Juju Smith-Schuster, losing Hardman, Mecole Hardman. So he's got to, learn the chemistry with his new receivers. But me personally, my Super Bowl pick.
So KC, they're obviously a good team. What I think they've done this year was get much better on the defensive side of the ball. They're a top 5 defense in the league this year. So
great take, bro.
That goes well with what they're trying to do as far as their playoff and Super Bowl aspirations. To Murph's point, the receivers, I think they need to step up a little bit more. Now they do have a guy, number 4, Rashee Rice, rookie. He's been stepping up. I think he's going to be the go-to receiver as of right now. Obviously, you got Travis Kelce and then the running backs by committee. So the Chiefs is going to be there. The question is,
they're going to win.
I don't know.
They're going to win.
They don't seem to be as threatening as they were in the years past this year.
Okay.
But they're going to be there towards the top of the AFC, as you know. But it's still some stuff to see as far as the receivers, but we'll see.
You heard it here first. Patrick Mahomes goes back-to-back Super Bowls, wins 2 Super Bowls back-to-back. This will be his 3rd Super Bowl win, and then he's going to go the next season, and he's going to go for Tom Brady.
Okay.
Go ahead. Nigga.
It's Royce. I think that's Royce. Is that Royce Wheeler?
Yeah. So he said needs. So Roy needs. He said what now? Give me that question, D, so I can repeat it to the fans.
He's saying, correct me if I'm wrong, Royce. Dak Prescott as quarterback. Cowboys would not elevate. I agree, man. Dak Prescott.
What?
Yes, Dak Prescott.
I'm gonna let you go.
I've told you, Murph, over and over again. Dak Prescott is mediocre, average at best. I'm telling you, the Cowboys would not go far with Dak Prescott as a quarterback. You seen it last night, 3 interceptions.
Elevate Trey Lance.
Nah, I don't know about Trey Lance.
No, you just said yes. You agree to it. You agree to it. Give him a chance.
Dak Prescott
what did the 49ers do? Shipped him out of there. Got him out of there. 49ers got him out of there. He was the top 5 pick, and they got him out of there. Because
they
why?
Need to get Dak out of
He's
there.
Not good. He's not good. No, Dak, give him some more time. Give him some more time. Give Dak some more time.
Some more time? How much time you need?
Hey, give him some more time, man. Hey, look. Dak gonna take them boys to the NFC Championship. Mark my words.
NFC Championship over who? The 49ers or the Eagles? Not happening.
Dak taking them boys to the NFC Championship.
Not happening.
I mean, I like to take Royce. I like to take, but to get rid of Dak, will he elevate them? I think Dak gonna get them. But for some reason this year, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but for some reason this year I feel Dallas Cowboys gonna make it to the NFC Championship. I really do believe that.
Not because of Dak Prescott, I can tell you that.
Why won't it be because of Dak Prescott?
Why? Did you see the game last night? That's all you need to see.
I mean, that's one game, Roy. That's one game. He lost one game.
Has that not been his Achilles?
I mean, yeah, he'll turn the ball over, but he's the most interceptions he's thrown for in his career is what, 12, 14 picks? The greatest quarterbacks of all time have thrown 25, 30 interceptions in the season.
Okay.
All the Mannings have. But Brett Favre has.
They're all Super Bowl winners.
Well, just give him some time. He's going to win a Super Bowl. We got to get the pieces around him and all that. I think they do need, to your point, I don't think Tony Pollard could carry the load the way that they thought he was.
Thank you,
I think they should have kept Ezekiel Elliott.
Thank you, my brother.
Even though, you think that Ezekiel Elliott is declining, which I don't think.
He is.
He don't get any carries in New England. He don't get any carries in New England.
He do get carries.
Okay. He don't get carries like that. He don't get 20 carries a game.
I mean, he's not the feature back. Ramondre Stevenson is, but he's getting a pretty good, to be a backup, he's getting pretty good run.
You got to it's just, same thing with basketball, man. You got to give him a chance, dog. You got to give him a chance to shoot the ball.
Appreciate you, Royce, man. Keep tuning in, my brother.
Hannah made a comment about the narrative needs to be addressed about the players being looked at as a whole person.
As a whole person?
Hannah got a comment about addressing that the players need to be looked at as a whole person. I guess I'm going to say that versus just a football player. And I agree with that. I thought that's the same thing to my point earlier about with Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook leaving Minnesota Vikings, going to New York Jets, and then now everybody's saying he's declining. So I appreciate that comment, Hannah, and that's why, him having to get kids into a new school, like, bro, just imagine taking your kids and moving them across the country.
I can understand that.
You know what I'm saying? And then you get a new
that.
job, and you got to figure out. And then you know what I'm saying. Then you can't even. Your wife got to handle all the kids and everything. They can't.
It's just like the Dame Lillard situation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like Dame Lillard going over there.
Drew Holiday.
Yeah, Dame Lillard going to the Milwaukee Bucks. Of course, all the fans want to be. Oh, it's just showtime. Like, but I wouldn't be surprised if it takes a little time to build the chemistry and Dame Lillard to get going because it is new. He's used to going to the same stadium for the last 10 years. Dapping up the same security guards, sitting in the same locker, getting in the same hot tub, getting in the same cold tub, like getting stretched by the same person. Like all those things matter when you're talking about elite of the elite. Right. The 1% of 1% of 1%. Right. Like chances of getting to the NFL is harder than winning the lotto. So for that, it's like, it's a lot that goes into that. It's a lot that goes into that whole thing. And I do believe that players need to be viewed as, is what you do, is not who you are.
So let me ask you. That's a great question, Murph. You being a former professional athlete, were there times where people took it a little too far and forget that you are human? For sure,
man. Some of these comments on Twitter, social media, Facebook, some of those comments, man. Like at the end of the day, people could say, "Oh, I'm going dark mode. I'm not on social media throughout the season."
But they still see it, huh?
Yeah, they still see it, man.
One way or the other.
One way or the other.
Right.
A friend, a family member might say, "Hey, man, you heard what such and such said, or this and that." The media can be very cold-hearted, and that's how giving that perspective of seeing that players, are under the microscope. I wish, I'm be honest, bro, I wish sometimes I could go around personally to some people's jobs and criticize them and spread it to the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Like your job, like our job is viewed by millions and millions of people across the globe.
Right.
So, it's definitely a high pressure environment, man. Right. The pressure's on. Then every year is televised who they're drafting to take your position. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, dang, like how do you figure out how to become this dude's friend, But at the same time, I don't want them to take my job because I got to feed my family and my kids. So, you know, it's one of the.
It's tough.
Yeah. In the words of Drew Rosenhaus, it's the most crucial business in all the sports, man. It's definitely criticized to a whole nother level.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, that's a wrap.
Oh yeah, man. I forgot to mention too, man. Raw Wave, man. We got to shout out Raw Wave, St. Petersburg native. #1 for the last 4 weeks. In the
third #1 album.
Third #1 album.
Let's
the list goes on and on and on Jimmy Kimmel, all the shows. I mean, download Raw Wave Nostalgia.
Nostalgia, yeah.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love the title.
Great album.
Great album, man. I listening to it a lot, man. And
shout out Raw Wave.
So yeah, man. The St. Peter's behind you, the Berg is behind you, the whole world behind you, the whole country behind you. And I'm definitely gonna come see you on tour somewhere, man. Probably Baltimore. Probably come check you out in Baltimore.
Let's go.
But yeah, man. Yeah, salute the Raw Wave, man. And again, if you need your products, advertise here on the #1 sports broadcast. Debate podcast in the country, Red Lady Punch. You know, make sure all photos considered. Come on down, get your plug, shameless plug. But again, thank you, world, for joining us for episode 5 of 1-on-1's podcast with Murph and Roy, where you get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Well, at least in our minds. So hey, you know, we'll see you again next week. Our picks, our Monday night pick, Roy. Who you got tonight? What we going
Monday
out?
night pick.
Raiders, Packers.
I'm gonna go with the Packers.
Packers?
Jordan Love.
Ooh, I'm going with the
Jones.
Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going with the Raider game, man. Shout out to Mark Davis, Al Davis family. I'm going with the Raiders tonight.
Gonna try to
Give me a
go
point.
crazy.
Give me a score. Give me a score.
I'm gonna go 27-24 Packers.
27-24 Packers. I'm gonna go low scoring game. 17-14 Raiders take it.
Okay.
17-14 Raiders take it. Devontae Adams has a breakout game.
Yeah, he's gonna go crazy.
Gonna go crazy. Even though it's not a breakout game for Devontae Adams. He's the #2 best receiver in the NFL with Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams over your Justin Jefferson and
Jamar Chase yesterday.
Yeah, he did. But again, world, join us next week, same time, 8 a.m. 1-on-1 podcast with Murph and Roy, man. Salute, love y'all. Tap in next week.